Hey everybody, we're back for another episode of Dell's Dishes. Today we're going to do steaks on the sous vide. We've got from Scott's Meat, our local butcher, which it'll be down here, boneless beef ribeye steaks. And we got 2 of those, which we are going to get done in the sous vide today. Today I'm going to go very basic. It's going to be really quick. We're going to do salt, pepper, garlic. We're going to use a little bit of olive oil, butter, and some minced garlic just for an added little kick of garlic. We're going to get that in our bags here, and then we're going to set them in the sous vide. Now, what may you ask, why do I have a pair of vice grips? We'll find that out later, just because sometimes you have to use what you got. I don't have a tray yet for these, so we're just going to use a pan, but that's what we got. So today my wife made, it's got garlic in there, she did some maple bacon in there, we've got some habaneros that she roasted on there, and it smells really good, so we're gonna try that on top of the steaks as we're searing those today. So kudos to my wife as she did that. She's waving in the background, although you can't see it. All right, so the battery's low on the camera, so we're gonna get started and try to move through this as quickly as possible to try to get that done. I cut my finger today opening up some vindaloo curry spices that came in a glass jar, which is very weird to me, but nonetheless, we're gonna make sure we stay gloved up today. All right, let's get going. And I forgot to get a knife to cut into the bag, so we're just gonna rough it and open it up with our hands. These are about 10 pounds. I think they're probably about, all right, smell pretty good. Again, always, always, always smell your meat. I got that all over everywhere and did not keep a hand free. So, let's move that, hopefully that is in the shot. And we got our salt here, just so that the front view, we can get that. All right. First thing we're gonna do, put a little olive oil on the steaks. And if you watched the other video that we did this week, we know that you can use olive oil as a binder, and it helps the seasonings adhere. So we're just gonna have a little liberal coating of that. Flip it over. I'm getting more comments and messages, so thank you guys for that. Again, please let me know if there's something you see, want me to try or to do. We'll definitely try to get that done. All right. So today we're gonna go very basic, especially with the sous vide. You wanna make sure that you use kosher salt, don't use table salt. Table salt will immediately try to soak into the meat. You won't know exactly how much you're putting on, and nobody wants oversalted meat, nobody. So you want to make sure that you get a nice, thorough, even, and then we're going to flip it over. And this will help draw out. Now what we're going to do, we're actually going to pop the garlic on there, get it on this side. Now, especially depending on how coarse your pepper is, that's not working, so we're going to, depending on how coarse your pepper is, you want to be very careful as you're seasoning this, because too much pepper can definitely not make it taste good. I've done that to a couple briskets before, and it was, while the meat was good, it was not the best. So, and let's get that flipped over again. Because we're gonna put this into a bag, we're not really worried about it sweating out, as most of the cooking will be done through the sous vide. And we got that going for about 2.5 hours it'll be. Love the smell of garlic. I don't know why, but just love it. All right. Now we're gonna let that sit there for a little bit while we get our ingredients into our bags. So, we're gonna put, this is about a half a stick of butter. So we're gonna cut that in half. We're gonna get that in our bag here as I very haphazardly get that in there. We're gonna do just a little bit of olive oil. And that should be good. I don't have exact measurements to just kind of eyeball it, so there's that is. Backpedaling as I get a spoon for a little bit of minced garlic. What's also you can do is if you have rosemary or thyme, you can add those in there, as those are great flush flavors. Parsley is also good. And I think that is what we're gonna do. And I took my glove off already, so we're gonna go grab these. And get it in the bag. All right, so we'll leave that one there. Get the other one done up. I know you guys are super curious about what the vice grips are for, and trust me, it is coming up real soon. And balance the butter, or not. And roll over it. Get a little bit of olive oil. All right. Get a little bit of that garlic in there. And we get our steak in. All right. Now, definitely want to get it sealed up. You want to leave it just open just a little bit. Now, if you have a vacuum seal bag or a vacuum sealer, this will be the perfect time to use it. You definitely want to just kind of roll it around. The olive oil's in the bag. All right. Now, one thing you just want to make sure that you don't leave the open part of the bag when you're putting it in the sous vide. You don't want water in with your steak. All right. So, as we're gonna try to make this as vacuum sealed as possible, we are just going to roll it up. And then when we get to the top, we're just gonna push the rest of the air out of the bag. Actually, what we're gonna do is the exact opposite because I did that. All right. So there we go, we've got one. Again, just roll it up. Try to get that air, as much of that air out as possible. Creating our own little vacuum seal. All right. Now we've got it set at about 135 degrees for two and a half hours. And we are going to get that started there. All right, one last push of the bag, and for some reason, this bag is open. So that's fun. Nothing like doing it on a video. All right, I'm gonna try to get that bag closed again. Okay, I have no idea why, apparently. Huh. Well, as only can happen on a video, this bag is broken. Still all right, we're still gonna use it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take it, fold it over just a little bit, try to get as much of the air out as we can. Then we're gonna get it in. There. Sometimes meat will float. You want to, if you're using a pot, a small pot like this, you just want to make sure you try to keep it away from the actual sous vide part itself. And, oh, okay, so I must have used this for something else since then. But, that's right. We have our own bag clip for our steaks in the sous vide. All right, so we're gonna let that go. I don't know if that's in the shot. Maybe we're gonna have to move this over just a little bit. But, we've got our steaks in there. And we will be back in a little bit. About 2.5 hours, we'll get those going. We're gonna get the battery charged up on the camera, and we will be back to show you what the steak looks like. Today we're actually gonna sear them on a charcoal grill. Next time we'll actually do it on the smoker. The last time we learned not to do it on a Blackstone griddle as it won't get hot enough to get a good sear. So today we're gonna fire up the char-broil grill and we're gonna just sear it up. So we'll see you back in a little bit for the wrap up. Unfortunately, it got a little bit late, but we'll discuss that in just a second. So we're gonna grab this out of here. To be honest, I don't remember how to turn this thing off. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. Definitely want to make sure we drain this, and then we'll get these steaks up here. We're gonna probe them, and then we're gonna probe them, and then we're gonna get them on the grill. Grab. That's why you have multiple tongs. That would have been smooth if I'd actually caught it. Okay. Now, this is not my normal probe, but we shall see what we're working with here. It's probably a bad angle for up there and over here. And what we're really looking for is about 130 to 140 would make me really happy. And right now we're at 127, still crawling up. So about 130, and that'll be really good. So that makes me very happy. All right, let's check this other one out here. And the sous vide cooks very evenly. So we'll get that nice pink all the way through. Again, it's really sad that it's really dark outside, so you won't be able to see it. We may try to take camera out there or something, but not really that super important. All we're gonna do, a gas grill fired up, we're gonna get on there, get a sear on it for a couple sides, flip it, add that butter to it, and then we'll plate it up and be right back. So it's gonna be really quick. All right, so they're about 130 each of them. So that means that we can get them on. Wipe down a little bit. My wife was kind enough to watch that, and during our little intermission, my wife was kind enough to clean off our thing. So we're gonna put this on the grill and we'll be right back. Not really sure how this is gonna turn out. Let it go over on that on the propane a little bit longer than I would have liked. Flipped it over a couple of times, but once I added this butter that my wife made, and we'll leave that description somewhere down below or in the description, then we started actually getting that real good char to it. I'm a little worried how it's gonna turn out, but hey, we just show it how it is, whether it turns out to be good or bad or not. So let's cut into this and see what happens. Did not grab a fork. All right, moment of truth time. All right, let me get my fat head out of the picture. And it is, let's cut some. Okay, so I mean, it still has a nice pink center. However, you can see that it is a little bit more done on this one than I would have liked. But that was to be expected, as what we just said. And still has, again, like I said, a nice pink center. I definitely would have taken it off a little bit sooner. I think the sous vide probably gave it a good start, but didn't nail down my landing on the old propane. Still looks really good. Again, it's really pink, so let's try to cut this up. Take a bite here. Gotta say grace. Okay. You can really taste the habanero and the garlic. The maple gives it a nice, like, sweet, which offsets the habanero. Tastes really good. I would have liked it to be a little bit less done than it is. But again, even though we still have our hot pink center, would have liked it to be just a little bit not as done, which 100% came from flash frying it on the grill. So it's dinner time as it normally is, and so we're gonna dig into this. We'll get it plated up for you guys to see. But again, this is steaks on the sous vide. We'll definitely try it again. Try to do a little bit something different. But definitely not leave it on as long as I did. So again, that's just how it is. Thank you guys. Feel free to click like and support. Click like and subscribe, not support, sorry. Anyway, thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next Dell's Dishes.